All right, today on the Behind the Sold Sign podcast, we're talking about the 7 steps that are crucial you take when buying a home in today's market. This is for all you home buyers out there that are thinking about buying a home right now. And these are the 7 steps you need to follow when you are looking at buying a home or making your first purchase for you first-time home buyers out there, or if you haven't bought a home in a few years, times have changed. So we went from being a seller's market just a few years ago to being in a full-blown buyer's market. Now, these 7 steps I'm going to give you today are going to help you purchase your home and possibly save you thousands of dollars with the purchase of your new home. 7 steps to buying a home in today's market is really about knowing the market. Again, I tell everybody knowledge is power. Know what you are doing. First thing you need to do is get with a qualified real estate professional, a good real estate agent that can guide you in purchasing your home, because they are going to be the experts when it comes to that. Now, how do you do that? Well, you interview. Just like anything else, you're interviewing for position. Never pick your second cousins just because they're a realtor and they're in your family. Find someone that knows the market, knows what is going on in the local area, and can help you get the best deal possible. Now, first couple of steps here is, one, you need to know where you stand. So first thing you need to do is get with a local lender. And I always say get with a local lender because every market is different. Every city is different, based it down to the zip codes. There are certain DPA programs in one zip code and not in another zip code. And a local lender can guide you through that process and get you set up. So first one is find a local lender and then get pre-approved. That pre-approval is going to help you know exactly how much of a house you can afford. And the most key element here is they can get you that monthly payment. Like I said, the house could be worth $400,000, but if the monthly payment is only $1,900 or $2,100 because you're getting lender credits and the interest rate is getting paid down, that might be a great stepping stone. So how do you find a local lender? Well, you can Google it. You can ask your real estate agent. Once you pick one, they normally work with great lenders. But as anything else, you can compare lenders. Don't just go for the first lender you see. Go out there, compare prices, compare different interest rates. Each company is different. A lender that works for a specific company is going to be tied to certain things. Or you can go with a mortgage broker who works with a ton of different companies and are not tied to anything, and maybe they can get you a better deal than the mortgage loan officer that works for just one company. Now, when you talk to your lenders, make sure you explore different programs they have. A lender out there is going to have different DPA programs that can help you get into a home. Even for my VA, even for my veterans out there, for all you VA, and I'm telling you, if you're thinking about buying a home and you're a veteran, use your VA home loan. But again, there are certain types of lenders that can literally get you a home without even a credit score. So look out there. All right. Every lender is going to be different. Knowing your true numbers up front is going to basically help prevent unpleasant surprises later on down the line. So get with the local lender, have them work those monthly payments, give them a ballpark, say, hey, I want to buy a house between $350, $400. Give me some prices. What am I looking at monthly? And again, local lenders can give you all of that raw data. So make sure you get with a local lender, not one of these fly-by-night national lenders, because they're not going to know your market. Like I told you guys before, always choose the right realtor. Okay, make sure the real estate agent you decide to work with knows the area in and out and knows the programs that can best help you secure the deal. Because as agents, we negotiate for you. Main job to help you is to negotiate. Do not go with an agent that is afraid to pick up the phone and talk to sellers. They should be representing you when you're buying a home, and vice versa when you sell your house. Don't just go with your sister's brother's first cousin because you know them, all right? Make sure they know how to negotiate for you sellers and for the buyers out there, all right? Like I said, it's a buyer's market. Buyers, you can get everything, including the kitchen sink right now. So make sure you have a good real estate agent that can get out there and negotiate for you the best deal. And when you sit down with your real estate agents, ask them, what are some strategies you use to get buyers into homes and save them money? Give me specific examples. That's going to help you out, all right? Because that way you can weed out the weak ones to the ones you want to go with, all right? So ask them, hey, what strategies would you recommend me to use as a buyer right now? Or if you're trying to sell your home too, what strategies would you recommend to sell my house faster? But for you buyers out there, remember, the agent that you pick, you should not have to pay them. Right now, you can have your agent basically say, hey, put your agent's commission into the offer. All right, so you can basically get an agent to help you for free as long as you do that, and they can work that out with the seller, okay? Because sellers can't pay the agents. Don't forget that. Now, when you buy a home, timing the market smartly is a great way to do this. Watch as the market slows, because we have ebb and flows out here in the market. Some summers are always hot because kids are out of school and parents either want to get in the school districts, so homes are going to sell faster. Now, if we look into the winter months, homes usually sit for about 15 days longer between that October and February timeframe. Okay, so that is a great time to buy. You have a ton of leverage as a buyer out there right now during that time, because not a lot of houses are going to sell right now. Kids are still in school, they're knee deep in semesters. A lot of parents are not going to want to buy a house right now. Now, remember, if you are buying a home and you walk into a house and it looks absolutely gorgeous and it's priced right, you need to understand how fast that house is going to sell. So if it's been on the market for one day, more than likely, and it's beautiful inside, and you see a line around the corner, that house is going to sell. So you need to be quick with making your offers on great houses. Now, if the house looks good, maybe it's overpriced a little bit, then you can make a deal. What I always recommend my clients do is first look at homes that have sat on the market 30 days or longer, because those are your leverage points. Sellers are going to get anxious. They're going to want to sell their homes. So after 30 days, it is a great time to make an offer. Maybe go a little bit under market or ask for more concessions, as opposed to going for a home that just listed 2 days ago. Now, I'm not to say if you don't love the house, obviously put an offer in on it. But remember, leverage can be a little tricky with that one. But if it's the only offer on the table and you have a great negotiator for you, again, go after it. Okay. When you lock in your rate, that means you have an offer on the table, you have the contract, make sure your local lender locks in that rate for you so you can take advantage of the rate locks and you don't have to worry about the rate going up. So when you get a contract, send it to the lender and go under contract and lock that rate right then and there. Now, if you're not under contract, but you see the rate, it's dropped a couple basis points, all right, and you're like, hey, let's lock that rate. It's always a risky maneuver to lock the rate prior to going under contract on a home. So if you're going to lock your rate, and what rate lock means, it just means it's going to hold your rate. All right, whatever rate that's at, it's going to hold the rate there. So it's always tricky and risky if you want to roll the dice and you think it's a great rate, all right, right now, then lock it. But remember, it can go down or it can go up. You're always playing the roll of the dice with the rate lock, but once you go under contract, you need to lock that rate in as soon as possible. Okay. All right. Next tip is go beyond the obvious. Go beyond Zillow. All right. Not everything on Zillow is correct. Truly at Realtor.com, none of that stuff is really accurate. So when you get with a local agent, make sure they run a search on the MLS, all right, the multiple listing service. That's where you want to get your data from. Don't get it from Zillow and everything else. I mean, Zillow has a ton of homes on there that aren't even for sale. Okay, you just look at them and click them, they come up. A lot of them are like, especially the foreclosure ones. All right, the pre-foreclosure ones are absolutely horrible. Do not waste your time on those, okay? Because it's pre-foreclosure. They're not even in foreclosure yet. I've had a ton of clients call me and say, hey, Joe, what about this house? And I try my hardest to get a hold of the seller. And then when I do, they're like, yeah, we're not selling this thing. We just missed 2 payments. We're going to pay next month. So again, if you're going to look at foreclosures, that'll be another training, but we'll talk about that later. All right. But do not click on the pre-foreclosure on Zillow. So get with an agent that can give you access to the MLS, all right, and is putting you in a search and giving you an update every 2 to 3 days. I give my clients 2 to 3 days. Every 2 to 3 days, I'll send them an update of the areas they want. So go beyond Zillow and all that stuff. Get access to the MLS. Now, if you have a certain area and you're working with me, you know what you want. Okay, you know the payment you want. You know the style of home you want and the area, maybe it's a school district, cross streets, then let me know, because we can use my perfect home finder where I use my own marketing system, my own dollars to go out there and find you a home that is not listed. So pre-listed, you're the only one that's going to see that home. So if you know your location, the key is target location. And that's the one thing I do need to know with the perfect home finder for you, is to make sure I have a great location. But you might be able to get a wholesale deal while doing that. If I can just find a seller that's willing to sell, that doesn't go to market, we might be able to get a little undervalued there. So expand your search and work with a qualified real estate agent that can get out there and find off-market deals for you. Maybe you can save a little bit of money, maybe a few $1,000s on that home. Now, next tip is everything is negotiable. You can negotiate everything. You can negotiate the closing cost. You can negotiate appliance and fixtures. You can negotiate purchase price. inspections, home warranties. You can get the rate buy down. You can do a ton of negotiations. That's why I'm telling you, it is imperative that you find a real estate agent that can negotiate for you and get you these things paid for, because these are all costs that the seller can help you with. And if you're not getting your closing costs, or at least part of those closing costs covered, what are you doing right now? Take advantage of the market. Take advantage of the market. That is what I will tell you, because you can negotiate everything. You don't like the color of the walls? All right, let's negotiate. You don't like the color of the refrigerator? Let's negotiate that. Everything's negotiable when you're buying a home. Everything. I mean, I've done new carpet. I've done Hawaii tickets. One time, like 4 years ago, the seller was giving Hawaii tickets to my buyer because it's what they wanted. They were weird. But again, everything's negotiable. We can negotiate anything. So when you get there and you decide to put that offer in, before you put it offer, make sure you know exactly what you are doing, and all of your wants, all of your needs are in the offer to the seller. Now, again, it's up to the seller to say yes or no, but if you don't ask, you're not going to get. You don't ASK, you don't GET. Next tip is stack your savings. We have multiple ways to stack programs to save you thousands of dollars when you purchase a home. You can use a down payment assistance plus lender credits. So down payment assistance will pay for your down payment. Lender credits can help you pay down your interest rate or your closing cost. And seller concessions can help you pay for your closing cost, pay for your rate bar downs. And the mortgage credit certificate is going to save you money over time. Because as long as you do the MCC, the mortgage credit certificate, right, that is going to help you on taxes later on. All right, it's going to basically take all the taxes you pay on interest, bring it right back to you at the end of the year. Okay, so that can save you hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars over time. So stack all of those together. And if you don't understand that when you're at the closing table, ask your lender, ask your real estate agent. Make sure all that is in writing prior to you putting that offer in, so you know exactly what you're paying monthly, because all that is going to help you with your monthly payment for sure. So DPA, lender credits, seller concessions, your rate buy down, and for the love of God, get your MCC done whenever you're purchasing a home. Because again, the right combination of all this can save you thousands of dollars. Next one is protect your investment. All right, make sure you do your due diligence when you are buying a home. All right, so get the full inspection. Get the appraisal done, review all the fees, especially those HOA fees, and do your final walkthrough at the end. The inspection is important. Do not just willy-nilly the inspection. If you can, show up, meet the inspector, let them walk you through the whole house so you know how to turn the light switches on, you know how to turn the gas on, you know where the water is at, all of that stuff, and you can see inside and outside what the inspector sees. All right, there's a huge part with the inspection. Now, if you want, you can have your agent meet out there, but someone needs to be out there with the inspector, whether it's yourself or your agent that can go out there and represent you, but have someone in there. And next thing is hire a qualified inspector. All right, there's a lot of inspectors out there, but not all of them are good. I met my first inspector when I was flipping homes a few years ago. We'd flip homes, and this old inspector would come in and literally just tear me up on everything. All right. And so when I became a real estate agent, I hired him right off the bat. I was like, that's my guy. Fortunately, he retired a couple years back, but that old dude was just awesome. I have another great inspector now, a veteran. He does great work as well. So make sure you vet your inspectors, okay? And when you do the final walkthrough, just don't check the block. Make sure everything is done in there. Make sure the AC works. Make sure the water heater is good to go. And make sure you are set before you sign that dotted line. Now, after all that, if you're ready to find your perfect deal, do not hesitate to call, text, or message me. I would love to help you out. Buy a home, get you started, and save you thousands of dollars on your home purchase. Any questions, please do not hesitate to send me an email or a message, and we get you started. And if you'd like to take advantage of the perfect home finder, please let me know. We can definitely go out there and find you a home in your location and for the price you're looking for. All right, everybody, have a great time out there and enjoy the rest of the week.